Hello and welcome to Wildlife Cam. Well, I fixed my computer so it's back to normal this week, and so I was able to have a look at the images of the genets, because there were two genets last week. The one I identified as genet number 3, and I was wrong. It was genet number 1, which is one we don't get here very often. And then the unidentified one is genet number 4, which is one I think we've only had once or twice, so it was nice to get some different genets for a change. We have two families of crested francolins, and their territory seem to meet in our garden, so every morning they have a very loud squawking battle. I have mentioned this before, but it was ages ago, but elephants don't have 4 knees, which you sometimes hear people saying. That's the wrist on the front leg, and then further up you have the elbow. We had a few civets visiting this week, or maybe one several times, but they were on the far side of the waterhole, so difficult to identify. The juvenile starlings seem to be hanging around a lot longer than they did the last time they were offspring, so maybe they'll stay and form a little group. Maybe Carl will teach the youngsters his own bad habits. I was very surprised to have a lion suddenly calling close by, so it didn't take me long to get out of my room and shine a spotlight on him. I'm assuming this is one of the new males. But it's very difficult to keep track of them because with the new males coming in and going out and then the pride splitting up and moving around all over the place, I just don't see them often enough to know what's going on with them. And Cameron not doing a very good job picking up animals coming in from the right, so I might have to reposition it. Seems a bit late in the season, but there's some very small baby francolins. The staker was very concerned about something, but it turned out to be a lonely male impala. It's one of the territorial males, and if the females move out of his area, which they're constantly doing, he gets to spend a lot of time by himself. The scrub hare is another dry season visitor that we haven't had at the waterhole for quite a while. Not much action at the baobab camera this week. It seems that the baobab has run out of leaves, so the impala moved off a little bit further away. A bachelor herd of impalas, so mostly the young males that aren't old enough to compete for territories yet, as well as some of the older males that are just having a rest. What a handsome chap. The impalas have noticed something sinister making its way to the waterhole, which turned out to be a young male lion. It's quite hard to tell. He's just got a little bit of fluff around his neck. This is a male that's been seen on his own quite a lot lately. And I think it's because we've had new males move in. So if the pride males were his relatives, his father or uncles, they would tolerate him for another year or two. But new males are very intolerant of any males, and so he has to avoid the prides with the females as long as the new males are around. But he seems to be doing alright. He had a reasonably full belly, and then less than a minute later I came bumbling along wondering why the impalas were alarm calling and staring at the waterhole, but I didn't actually see the line. We'd been out on a little drive and then came past and found the impalas all standing there. It was very windy on Wednesday and the pool was full of leaves, so I went to clean them out and found this young boomslang swimming around, and so I was able to rescue it. Quite ornate patterning. It's transitioning from juvenile to adult, and I haven't seen one look quite like this. So they are highly venomous and kill very few people because they're quite good-natured. But the first, or one of the first people to ever be recorded of being killed by a boomslang was an American in America who was handling one in the 1950s to try and identify it, and it bit him, and instead of going for medical help, being a scientist, he decided to record the effects, and well, he died in the end. Not as big as it looks, most likely a daddy long-leg spider. Thanks for watching.